Hello, hello. Now that we got to know each other a little bit, we already know what's going on this channel. Um, I just want to kind of actually get started into doing something, seeing what's, let get into doing what we need to do instead of just, doing a bunch of talking and rambling. Because when it gets to talking about budgeting and personal finance and all the things I'm trying to do with my life, I could talk forever. But I know y'all don't want to hear that. Y'all want to see some things going on, so y'all can follow along with me. Okay, so just going over my little personal finance binder that I threw together, a little cheap dollar thing from the dollar store, and just put some stuff in here. A lot of these trackers that I have is just stuff that over time I've randomly pulled offline, but they're gonna work for right now. So what I have right here, I know at the top it says bill tracker, but what it is right now is this is a list of all my debts, right? And the purpose of this, and this, the numbers are accurate. I put as of July, but it's actually as of June 2026. So this is what the month of June, at the beginning of June, started out with. So I got to update that. Don't worry about it. But this is where, these are the debts that I have. This is kind of the order that I want to get things paid off. And what's going to happen is, like that Capital One, once I pay it off, and these represent the months from January to December. So let's say I pay it off May of 2027. So I'm going to come right here under May, and I'm going to put the number 27, and then I'm going to color it. So basically, they don't know Capital One was paid off May of 27. And this is just kind of keep up with things. And then, of course, we want to stay debt free. But if things come up, medical bills and things, you just add things here. And as you pay them off, as I pay them off, I'll be going in and differentiating it there. So that is how this is. So right now, the debts, as I went over with you guys in the last video, was Capital One. I have a business loan, a credit card, another business loan, and my mortgage. I have up here written for taxes because I know I will probably owe taxes this year due to some investments and things that came up, but I won't know the exact amount until around October. So that's why that's blank for right now. So I'm going to add up what we have: 4679 plus 16807. Oh crap, I put that in wrong. Shit, let me start over. 4679, 16807, 39, 49, 18, 28, 65 even, and 132, 205, 93. And if I sound weird, y'all, my allergies are acting up. But I don't want to take the medicine because I have a client coming here within the next hour, and I'll be here till probably about 5 or 6 o'clock today. And if I take the allergy medicine, it will make me sleepy and it will be a miserable day. And honestly, I'd rather sneeze a couple times than being here half asleep trying to stand up and work. So this, I don't know why something don't seem right. It says 165, 110, 60. 753. I don't know why when I came up with those, I went over these numbers before. Okay, so maybe it was like the full starting balances. Because when I went over the numbers and I was just kind of calling them out in the last video, it was coming up to like 188. But, oh, I forgot something. I know what's missing. So I'll go in and add that. What is missing is the $23,000 in student loans. Forgot to put that shit up there, but I will. Don't worry. So just adding this back up, 132, 205, 93 plus it's 23,000 and some change. Yeah. Yep, that's it. That's what's missing because it's coming up to 188,000, and then I know the last part is off, but I at least know it was 23,000 and some change. So I know when I added up before, it was 188 something. So yeah, I'll have to go back and edit this and add the student loan in, but no worries. Anyway, that's what this sheet here is for. So I'm gonna just say we're looking at 188,000, and I'm gonna round up and say $200. 188,200 is what we're working on. The next little piece that I have in here is like my membership and subscription tracker. This is the things that's like, okay, so you have your things that are due monthly. You have your monthly fixed expenses, your monthly variables, and then your debt, right? But then there are also some things that don't come every month, like aren't due, like your car renewals, your license, and things of that nature. That's what this is for me. So I try to forecast for it in my budgeting. Like for instance, was something like my budgeting system that I use is like I do things by paper because I'm that kind of girl. I do paper and digital. But what I have is I use YNAB. You need a budget. So YNAB for me is kind of like cash stuffing, but instead of having a physical envelope, I can delegate it in the system digitally. Because, I still have all the sections broke down and I just put the money in those systems. But the thing about YNAB is that it goes, you use the money that you have. You don't forecast a paycheck. It uses what you have. And for me, it works because I'm self-employed. So my money always fluctuates. So I have the things that I know are due in there, but I can't delegate the money until I have it. You know what I mean? So I can't forecast. So I know some people kind of forecast paycheck to paycheck because you already know what your check is going to be. So you can go in and say, hey, this, and this needs to come out of that. And that's perfect. I've been there before when I was working. So I get what you're doing, but that's not the way I can operate because, being self-employed, the numbers are inconsistent and different. So, for example, for my YNAB, it's a yearly subscription and it's 109. So I would take that 109, divide that up by 12, and whatever that amount is, I would put that aside monthly, if possible. That will be one of the things I will put that aside monthly. So that way next year when it comes up, I have that. So that's what this is for. It just kind of breaks things down. So I know, okay, this thing is coming up, but it's not due till June. And that's how much it's going to be. So go ahead and save for it. That's kind of what this is for me. Okay. All right. Moving on back. We're going to go over my budget. Now, let's see. Okay. Those are just blanks. Those are just the little planners that I use. So I use like the full view of the month to see what's due on what's date. And then this is like the budgeting plan of that same information transferred over. Okay, so here, my monthly full view, the stuff that's in pink are like my household bills, and the stuff that's in green is like my business stuff. So on the first, I have the mortgage and a portion of life insurance. And then I have my building and my booking system for my shop. Then on the 5th, I have one of the business loans due. On the 15th, I have my personal credit card and phone bill due. 16th is the light bill and water bill for the shop. The 20th is the Capital One bill and the Canva for the business. 21st is the other portion of life insurance. And then the 22nd is the other business loan. So if you look at this, it's like I don't have a lot. There's going to be some things that's missing, that some things that may be in your budget that you don't see in mine. And that's for a reason. My husband takes care of some things. And so there's a lot of things that aren't up here. So I focus on what I focus on, and that's all we worry about. Okay. Okay. With those things, and I kind of have a breakdown here that goes over the budget, but I'll go back to that. So I just have my little notes. I reconcile weekly to in YNAB to make sure that all of my numbers are adding up from my bank accounts. And at the end of the month, I close out my budget, just kind of seeing what I did. And then from work, from my job, from my business, any tips that I receive go to a challenge. Okay. And what that means is, let's say a service is $100, but they give a client tips me an extra 20. That 20, I still count it as income, but that automatically goes into my challenge of whatever I decide. And I do this to just kind of make things fun, because sometimes when you're budgeting and saving, it can get a little monotonous and it could get a little boring. But I do this one little thing to make it fun for me. So my tips go to my Christmas challenge. For right now, I have a Christmas account set up, and the goal for that is $500. And so what that means is all of my tips will go towards that. And then once that $500 goal is reached, then the money will go to something else, whatever else I choose in the short-term savings setup. Okay. And for this month, for the month of July, because we're looking at the July budget, for the month of July, my goal is to add 1,000 to my emergency fund, because I'm trying to have the goal of 2,500 for that. So that is what I'm working on. And we will see, we're going to do our best, but that's the goal. Even if it doesn't quite hit that, we're still going to work towards it. We're still going to add it to the emergency fund. And if it goes over that, hey, it's still going to go to the emergency fund, or possibly to the month ahead folder. All right. So this is my actual budget. So I have listed in the income section, shop, and then other, because, sometimes things come up, money comes from other places. I might sell some items that I had around the house, some extra things I might have had sitting around the shop or something like that. And, it brings in income, so I'll add it here. All right, so I have my mortgage, $1,100. My the life insurance together total is $5,116. The credit card payment is $115. The phone bill is $185, and the Capital One is $195. This phone bill, that's for 4 phones. So that's just is what it is. That's why that number is so high. So I have my shop, I have the Gloss Genius, I have the business loan at $351. The lights, I usually estimate around 80. It usually falls around there between 70 and 80 each month. Water is usually about 35, 36, but I always try to estimate up a little bit because last month it was 41, but saving a little bit over before that, it always worked out well. Business loan 2, of course, of $32. And Canva is $12.99. The Netflix subscription is $9.60. And I always set aside $25 for bank fees. Having a business, sometimes when people Zelle you things and this, that, and the third, sometimes the bank charges a fee monthly based on how many transactions and all that good stuff. So I just like to keep some money set to the side just for that, just in case. Now, as far as like my cash stuff and budgeting type of stuff, I usually set aside $150 for gas, $150 for grocery, $150 for eating out, $75 for household. And the household, that's what this little breakdown was for, like detergent and softener, tissue and paper towels, trash bags and things like that, air filters and all that good stuff. Okay. So the household 75, beauty is 88 because I get my hair cut every week. I keep it short and keep it moving. So I budget for that. Hair supplies, I budget about $215, and that is for things at my shop. So I budget for those supplies. Auto maintenance, and that's for like oil changes and things like that. I budget $75 just to kind of have to the side in case anything goes wrong with my daughter's car. $18, health and meds. The dog, $35, and that's for the help with dog food. I have a Chihuahua and a boxer. I have a little oopsie because I will forget something in a heartbeat. I have a little oopsie fund of $25. It's just like my little buffer just in case. Clothes, I have $30. That's just something new that I've started to set aside because I realize I cannot fit anything in my closet. So I'm either wearing work clothes or workout clothes. I don't have anything that I can really fit. Just for a nice day out or anything, or just basic wear around the house clothes. I don't have anything that I can wear. So I've started to put that in my budget just to save up so that here and there I can add pieces, here and there to wear. So sinking funds, again, the goal is to add 1,000 to the emergency fund. And then, I still have here college needs, trying to set aside $167 for this month, cause I have a goal to save at least $500 so that when my daughter gets ready to move in August, she will have all of the basics that she needs to, just kind of be comfortable. I'm not doing all the fancy, extreme room makeover for her college dorm, but I want to make sure that it's at least comfortable and she has the things that she absolutely needs while she's there. And again, this is my little tips for Christmas thing. So at the end of the month, when I have, because I have it in my system, in my budget, to where it delegates the income, and it'll show me what portion was a tip, and it'll total it out, and I'll put that there, and then that's the amount that I will put in to my tips for Christmas. So that is my little budget deal, and how I keep up with everything and what everything looks like. So we have the budget set up for July. We are good to go. And basically, now that I have this budget set up, the way that I operate for the remainder of the month is I use YNAB, because there's a section in it where I go in and I update my transactions. So every time I spend $1, I go into my app and I'll add it in, and it categorizes it and everything like that, and it takes it out of the respective cash stuffing system. So that's it for the physical paper budget. And as the month goes on, I'll do like some little videos up here to show you guys my YNAB system and how I do things. So what I might do for that, being that I'm self-employed and like the money comes in physically daily, I might just kind of let things build up in the system for a week, and then that way I can show you guys how I go in and delegate things. So that might be what I do this week. So maybe I'll come back Friday and just kind of say, basically whatever I've made for the week, leave that in there, and then go in and show you guys how I delegate it. I might do it that way, because that'll be cool for you guys to see. But anyway, we got the July budget done. We know what we're looking for. We know what's going on. We know what we're working towards. And yeah, so I'll see you guys in a couple days, and I'll show you my YNAB. Y'all take care. Shit, y'all didn't tell me. I forgot to give you guys the totals of what we had going on. So for the budget, for the $1646.16 of home expenses, the $1358.59 of business expenses, and the $1011 for the cash stuffing, that comes up to $4,015.75. Holy cow. And that's just from the bills and the variable for the day-to-day stuff needed. That's not even including what we're trying to work on for savings and everything. So $4,015.75. That's what we're working towards, and to go over for the month. Sorry, I forgot to add that stuff up, and y'all didn't even tell me, but there it is.